Welcome, Paparazzi Consultants. My name is Philip Beadle, and today we're going to talk about managing funds in Premiere. We get asked a lot, how do I manage funds? I do sales, and I want to be able to access those funds and use that money that I earned. How do I do that? There are two ways. Obviously, in Paparazzi Premiere, we're a sales tool primarily. So in conducting sales, you'll have access to those funds. There's a second way to have funds come into your ProPay account, your Premier account, and that is to add funds from an external account into your ProPay account. So let's go back to item number one, conducting sales. Obviously, when you conduct sales and accept cash as a form of payment, you have that money in your pocket. In addition, if you accept things that are outside of our platform, let's say Venmo or Cash App transfers, you would access those funds through that tool. Those don't come into Premiere. When you set up an account with Premiere, we're enabling you to accept Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. So when you accept one of those forms of payment on an invoice or online or what have you, in face-to-face, those funds will be something that you'll have access to in Premiere. And when you accept those funds in any given business day, those funds are made available to you the very next business day, technically midnight Mountain Time. So, and that's 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You accept a Visa transaction today, by midnight Mountain Time, those are made available in your account. 7 days a week, so banking holidays and weekends, funding times aren't constrained by traditional banking rules in that regard. So it could be Christmas Eve, and I've done $1,000 in sales on Christmas Day, midnight Mountain Time. Those funds are made available into your account. So conducting sales, accepting Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, those made available in that time frame right into your Premiere account. Separately, you can add funds right into your Premiere account from an external site, and we'll show you that here very shortly. Once you have access to those funds, once you've made the sale and those funds are made available to you, you can request a Paparazzi Pink Card, and I have one here to show you. You can request a card, and those funds are immediately available. Once they're in your account, you have immediate access to those funds through your Paparazzi Pink Card, and you can use that wherever MasterCard's accepted. In addition, you can transfer funds from your Premiere account to an external account. Transfers to a bank account happen within 2 to 3 business days. That's the slow method. Think of when I talk about transfers, either to a bank account or those instant transfers, think about your experiences that you've had with PayPal or Square. They're all the same. So if you choose the slower route, those take 2 to 3 business days. If you choose the instant route, those are done instantly within just a matter of minutes. And Paparazzi Premiere supports both ways. So transferring funds to a bank account, again, takes 2 to 3 business days, and the cost to transfer is 35 cents per transfer. Similarly, we do instant transfers. You just have to put in a debit card. Now, let me be very clear. When those funds are made available, they're already accessible by your Paparazzi Pink Card. You don't have to transfer. They're already there. But if you want them to go off of this card into another account that you own and you have a debit card associated with that, you just pop in your debit card information and do that transfer. That transfer will be made available within 5 minutes or less, and you'll have instant access to those funds to whatever account that you used. Again, very similar to PayPal, Cash App transfers that are instant. Square, enables merchants to do instant transfers, whatever amount that you wish to transfer up to your available balance. Square is now charging 1.5% for that transfer. And with our relationship with ProPay, you can do those transfers for only 1% of whatever amount you're transferring. So you have access to manage your funds immediately, make purchases wherever MasterCard's accepted. Maybe you're making a new purchase with Paparazzi for more jewelry to sell. You can make that purchase with your Pink Card when those funds become available. You can make that purchase immediately. Or you can transfer to a bank account that takes 2 to 3 days, 35 cents per transfer, or instantly, and it's 1% of the amount that you wish to transfer. Let's go into the app and we'll kind of explore some of these concepts that I'm discussing. We have had many questions that come into our call center, both Paparazzi and the Wayroot team. How do I see the balance that's on my account? We have several different ways where you can do that. And so I've pulled up the app here. And on that menu, so if I select that menu in the upper left-hand corner, you can see the option for Manage Funds. And here is just one of several ways where you can view your balance. Now, this one is just your top level, number. What do I have in my account to spend or transfer right now? And in Manage Funds, my account, as you can see on the screen there, I have $137.08 available. If you wish to see, what deposits and what debits of the account, make up that balance, we can show you that in just a moment. We have other reporting where that's made available to you. So on this screen, not only are we showing you what your current balance is in your account, but from the convenience of the screen, you can instantly transfer to a debit card right there at the top. In the middle, we have the slower 2 to 3 business day transfer. And you can simply select that if that's the transfer you wish to make, confirm the information on the screen and the amount you wish to transfer, and you can transfer that way. At the bottom of the screen, you can also do a transfer into your accounts. This is an external transfer from a bank account that you own into your Premiere store just by adding funds. Now, keep in mind, mine says access denied. I've not completed validation. So what that means is they just want to make sure that the account that they have on file is connected appropriately. So that it'll walk you through on that screen how to do that. But just keep in mind, if you're transferring from an external account into Premiere, and some might ask, why would I ever do that? Some paparazzi consultants like the convenience of managing all of their business expenses all in one place, managing all of their sales in one place. So if I accept Cash App or Venmo transfers, for example, to pay for orders, they transfer funds into their checking account and then from their checking account into their Premiere store so that they have all of their funds accessible in one spot. And then they can use their Pink Card for purchases or what have you, manage all of their funds, revenue, and expenses all in one account. So that's maybe one reason why you want to transfer from your account into your Premiere store. Now, keep in mind, those transfers from external accounts into Premiere take 10 days, unfortunately, 10 calendar days. So if you're looking to, participate in Fashion Fix, we know that drops on the 20th of every month. And in order to have those funds available in time, you would need to make sure that you initiate that transfer by the 8th or the 9th in order to have those funds made available to you. We are working with our partner ProPay and trying to reduce that time. I know that time frame is not convenient at all, but we want to make sure that we're providing you all of the information so that you're not taken off guard by the amount of time that it takes to do that transfer. So that's managing funds. That's how you can see your balance. And then if you need to make a transfer from that balance to an external account, either to a bank account or instant transfers, this is the screen that you do that. Again, those 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner is called a hamburger menu. If you hit the menu and go to Manage Funds, that's how you navigate to this screen. So one place to conveniently manage all of your funds. Okay. And I'll show you a couple more here in just a moment. So, and that moment has arrived. I apologize. So, managing funds, we make that available right from the main navigation, and we have two more areas where we can view that balance. One, a second option that we have is right from the ProPay card information screen, and again, that's just going to be your top number. You know, what do you have available? It doesn't show you what the breakdown is. But in reports and transaction report, that's where you can see all of the activity within your account that will help you understand how it arrived to that top level number. So let's get back into the app and I'll show you how to navigate to those other areas. So from the menu, let's hit the option for settings, and we're going to scroll down to payment processing and banking, and we're going to select the option for ProPay card. Anytime you need to manage anything associated with your Pink card, you would do it from this screen. And I'll come back to that in just a moment. But if you are looking for another way to manage and see that balance, we're going to select card information. And right there, midway through the screen, we can see the current account balance. This screen also tells you what the current status of your card is. On my account, my card is active. It was issued August of last year, and I have a balance of 137.08. Okay, so that's one more way that you can just see that top level number, your available balance, what you can spend or transfer right now. So the next area is through reports. So we're going to hit the menu option. On the left-hand side, right under Manage Funds, we can see the reports option as well. And the two that we're going to focus on in this presentation is transaction report and search transactions. These are sister reports. One shows you all of the detail in a certain date range, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And the other, search transactions, allows you to really refine down to what you're looking for. When we set up your ProPay account, it's allowing you to accept cards for payment, and then allows you to then use those funds using your Pink card or transfers. And all of those things affect your available balance. And in these reports, you'll see all of that activity. So let's dive right in. So when you're using the transaction report or search transaction report, you have to give it a date range. That date range is very important to show all of the activity within that range, of course. So we're going to go ahead and hit search. And there are three sections to this report. We have a completed transaction summary right at the top. And this will just give you, again, that summary of your beginning balance from the beginning of that date range. Again, we're on this example, we're going from July 7th to August 6th. And at the beginning of that date range, I had no money in my Premiere account. And over time, we've added $311.57. In my case, that's conducting sales, accepting Visa, Discover, American Express, and MasterCard transactions from my customers, paying orders that I've sent to them. And then subtractions, in this case, I've done refunds back to those cardholders. But subtractions could also be transactions on your Pink card or transfers that you've made to your account. And over that date range, again, July 7th to August 6th, my ending balance for that time frame is $137.08. This is the same balance that we've noticed in our managed fund section, 137.08. So let's go back into that report. Here we go. And that is that summary at the top of the page. Pending transactions would be a couple of things, right? If I've done sales today that have not yet been paid, and again, just as a reminder, when you accept transactions, payments from your customers on orders that you've created in Premiere, those are made available by midnight Mountain Time the very next day. So those would be pending sales that I've conducted. In this example, I don't have any. I've not conducted sales today. But this could also be transfers that I've started that have not yet settled, or even transactions on my Pink card that I've made that have not yet settled. So this is very similarly laid out to any, online banking that you're familiar with your bank of choice. Down below that would be completed transactions. Now, these would be all the transactions, let's say sales that I've done yesterday or days prior that I have been funded for, or transfers that I've done several days ago that have already been added to my external bank account. And each of these transactions, you can open it up and see additional detail. So here's a good example here. Anytime that you see in type, we see plus CC. And those are sales that I'm doing with my customers through Premiere. That invoice number below is a representation of the order number that is generated in Premiere when I've created an invoice, let's say, or if somebody checks out on my website and I make a sale from my website. So these are areas in which we can see all of the activity. Now, I've not, this is just a simple test account. I am unable to make purchases with my Pink Card, but if there were Pink Card activity on here, the type would be PPMC. Transfers would show up as ACH, and so on and so forth. This is how you can see all of the detail associated with the balance on my account. Okay, so that's transaction report. Now, you may have need to only look at transfers that you've made, or only look at those transactions you've made with your Pink Card. You don't want all of the other busyness that's associated with that report, and there's a way to do that. So we're going to go down to search transactions from the report page. Now, this is a very similar report that shows all of your ProPay activity, but in this type to display option, you can refine that search down to only those things that you wish to report on. Let's say that I only want to look at activity on my Pink Card. Well, we'll just simply select ProPay MasterCard, hit search. Now, again, this is a test account, and I don't have the ability to spend the funds in my account with that card because it's just a test account. But if I had transaction activity, you would see that after we hit search. If you only want to look at sales with your customers, we would hit the CC option because CC means credit card or your sales with your customers. And once I hit search, now I'm able to see all of the sales that I've done exclusively. All of the transfers that I may have done or activity on my Pink Card, those would be excluded when you refine it down to credit card transactions, credit card sales in this example. So that's how not only you can view your balance, but view your balance in full and see all the detail behind that. Now, when you create your account, you set up your Premiere store. The next action that we're going to have you do is set up your ProPay account so that you can accept credit cards for as a tender option through Premiere. It's also how you manage your funds, and we've gone through that. But the next step after your account is created is you can go and request your Pink Card if you don't have one already. And so I'm going to go through a series of screens here to show you all the ways in which you can manage your Paparazzi Pink Card. Let's go back into the app. And on the left-hand menu, we're going to go down to settings. And in the section that says payment processing and banking, we see a whole list of things that we can manage our relationship with ProPay. But the topic here is Paparazzi Pink Card. So we're going to hit the option for ProPay card. And in here, you'll see in the second option is request a card. So if you've not requested your card yet, you can simply do that from the convenience of the Premiere app. Request the card. And in mine is going to say access denied because I've already done it. But yours would allow you to complete that action. Requesting a card typically takes anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks for you to receive it in the mail. Now, it's really important to note that, to note what the piece of mail looks like. These cards come in a very nondescript envelope. And All issuers do that because they don't want to bring attention to what's in the piece of mail. They don't want everybody to know that you're receiving a MasterCard, for example. And so it's going to come in a very plain white envelope. You'll note in the upper left-hand corner where the return address is, it'll come from Global Payments, which is ProPay's parent company. And right next to it, you'll see that it also says ProPay. So keep in mind that when you request your card, it's going to take anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks for you to receive it, and be on the lookout for a very plain envelope. Don't throw it away. Once you've requested your card and you received it in the mail, it comes attached to a piece of paper that gives you instruction. Yes, you can call and activate your card, but you can also activate the card from the convenience of the app. On the screen that I have in front of you, it's the third option, activate card. Mine, if I touch this option in the app, it's going to show something weird, not what your experience is. But basically, you take the card and it's going to ask you for the last 4 digits of the card. So you pop that in on the screen, the expiration date, you enter that as well, and then you can assign it a PIN number, whatever you want it to be. Once you submit that, your card is activated, and as long as you have funds in your account, you see an available balance in that managed funds section, you can immediately use your MasterCard anywhere that MasterCard is accepted. Now, let's say you accidentally misplace your card and you are unable to find it. You can, from the convenience of the app, report your card lost or stolen as well, and deactivate that card so that no one can use those funds that you've worked so hard to earn. And so that's what that screen looks like. Deactivate the card. If you need a new one sent to you, you can do that again from the convenience of the Premiere app. And just keep in mind that the replacement fee for that is $4.95. That's to print the card and mail it to you. We're not making a dime off of that. That $4.95 is exactly ours and ProPay's costs. But keep that in mind if you need a replacement. You can have that $4.95 deducted right from your account balance if you have $4.95 in there. And if not, you can put in another debit or credit card to pay for that $4.95 fee. Let's say that you forgot your PIN associated with the card. You've activated it a long time ago. You've not needed to know your PIN because you've not gone to an ATM or whatnot to withdraw cash from the card, and you just need to reset it. You can do that from the convenience of the app as well. Just go to the ProPay card section. Again, that's menu, settings, all the way down to ProPay card, and then update card PIN. Okay. Put in the card information. Again, this is very similar to what the activate card screen looks like, and you can update the PIN right there. So that's how you can manage your Pink Card right from the convenience of your app. All right, let's go back into our presentation. And now we're just going to go over some tips and tricks to keep in mind. First, again, let's highlight, again, I do sales today, accept cards for payment on my invoices online or face-to-face. Those funds are made available by midnight Mountain Time. And that, maybe I've just completed and earned a sale at 11:59 Mountain Time. Yes, 1 minute later, you will have those funds added to your account, and you can immediately access those funds from the convenience of your prepaid card at that time. So now let's go over some tips in order to have real good success with this Pink Card. We have from time to time paparazzi consultants contacting us frustrated that their card is not able to be accepted and they have funds made available. Let's keep in mind that this is a prepaid card, and the prepaid card rules are totally different than credit cards or debit cards. And so if you want to have the best experience when you use this, I've got a number of great tips for you to keep in mind. The first one is if you're going into a business, let's say grocery store, Walmart, Target, when you go and check out, whether it's at the self checkout kiosk or with the clerk, processing the transaction as credit will allow you to have the most successful experience. And I have these experiences myself. I'm at the self checkout kiosk and I'm ringing myself up, bagging all my groceries, and I'm just swiping the card. I'm not paying attention to what might be displaying on the screen. Most self checkout kiosks, before you process the payment, you're able to hit the credit button or the debit button. Hit the credit option every time, and you will have a successful experience when making a purchase. If a clerk is ringing you up for your purchase, as you hand them the card, just say, "Can you process this transaction as credit?" And they can, guaranteed. And so processing this as credit will ensure that you have a successful buying experience when you're face to face. Don't really have any great tips and tricks for online purchases outside of, and we'll go into the app. Go back into the app, and under settings, then if we go to address information, this is where you're going to manage the addresses for both your Premiere store and your relationship with ProPay, meaning the Pink Card as well. Just keep in mind that whatever home address appears in this section of the app, you can see that I've got a address here on Macintosh in Ogden, Utah, on my Premiere store. This is the address that you want to use for online checkout. It's going to ask you for that billing address that's associated with your card. Your home address that's in the app is what you will use in online checkout. And obviously, if it's not correct, go ahead and make it correct. That update will be instantaneous with ProPay, and you can check out online successfully there. So that's online checkout. Gas stations. Prepaid cards and gas pumps do not get along, and it's not exclusive to the Paparazzi Pink Card. Any prepaid card does not get along with fuel pumps. So if you want to purchase gas, and you can with your Pink Card, just simply go and present the card inside to the attendant. Say, "I want to put $30 on pump 5," and that purchase will be successful, and you can go and pump your gas. If you want cash from your card, please, please, please don't select the cash back option at the point of purchase. Let's say you're at the grocery store again, and you swipe your card. You've remembered that you need to hit the credit option. You swipe your card, and it's saying, "Hey, do you want cash back?" Do not be tempted to press that button. Unfortunately, it won't work. Prepaid cards, that's another distinction. If it was a debit card, it would work, but this is a prepaid card. If you wish to have cash off of the card, you can do that. You can go at any ATM and you can get cash off of the card up to your available balance or $500, whichever is less. Okay. The next thing, sometimes we have consultants that say, when do I call ProPay for assistance, and when should I call Wayru? And the answer is really simple. Anytime that you're looking at your Pink Card, and maybe you notice an unauthorized transaction. Somebody stole your card information and made a purchase that you did not participate in. That would be the only time that you need to contact ProPay directly, is to dispute transactions that you do not recognize on your Pink Card. And anything else, you're having issues accepting cards, you're having an issue transferring money, any in-app support experience, whether it's related to accepting cards or making transfers or making purchases, any of those things, that you would contact the Wayru support team, solutions@wayru.com, or our phone number 913-428-1199, and we're happy to help you. ProPay can help you with disputes, and that's really where their support ends, and that's just our contractual relationship with ProPay. So if you contact them for something else, they're going to refer you back to us, and that's just by design, unfortunately. Contact us, and we'll be happy to help you out. Another question that we get from time to time, and we'll go into the app to show you this, is how do I check the fees associated with my relationship with uh, ProPay? Give me just a moment. I went past my option here, so I just have to go back. There we go. Here we go. So in the same reports area that we went to before, reports, we see other reports that we have access to, limits, rates, and fees. And in this section, you can see the rates to accept credit cards for payment. You know, if you use a card reader to do in-person sales with us, it's 2.85% per transaction. If I'm doing invoices, online sales, then it's 3.5% and 15 cents on that transaction. So that's the cost to accept a credit card, for a sale that you're conducting with your customer. And just keep in mind that this is cheaper than Square and PayPal. It's all based on the total transaction size, $25 sale or $30 sale. Just keep in mind that the math will arrive to a certain amount per transaction. But no matter how you cut it, when you use Premiere to sell to your customers, these rates are cheaper than Square and PayPal, Shopify, et cetera, et cetera. And we have a little tool, a little calculator that you can go to and see how we stack up, how we compare to Square, PayPal, Shopify, et cetera. And would love for you to check that out as well. Here on the screen as well, you can see flash funds. That's that instant transfer to your debit card. That is 1% of the total amount that you're transferring. ACH to your bank account. You're transferring funds from your Premiere balance to your bank account. That's 35 cents. And fees, we have that initial setup fee of $7.50. And then ATM fees. Just keep in mind that the ATM company is going to charge you a fee likely, and they should have that displayed on the ATM. But you can also experience a $2.50 fee from ProPay as well on that ATM withdrawal. Keep in mind, ATM inquiry fee, people ask, what does that mean? That just simply means you're asking the ATM what your balance is on your Pink Card. Just know that, that's charging you $1 for something that you already have in the palm of your hand. Just go to the menu and manage funds, and you can see that right there. All these miscellaneous fees are normally not experienced. You'll never get a statement fee from ProPay, et cetera, et cetera. Card rush delivery fee. I guess if you want a card rushed to you, we can get that done through ProPay. Just know that they're going to charge you a rush delivery fee for that. Incidental fees, those only happen if they occur, but are largely something that you won't experience. So limits, rates, and fees is where you would go to be able to view that. With that, that concludes our presentation. And I've so much enjoyed spending time with you today on this. If you'd like, we've created a little survey for you. And this is just not necessarily a survey of this presentation, although you can do that. But we're needing feedback. If you need something in Premiere to make it more valuable to you, to help you conduct more sales, to help you close more sales, if there's a convenience feature that you like about Square or PayPal or Shopify that we do not have yet in Premiere, we need to know. If you don't tell us that you need something, we're not aware. So you can just simply use that QR code on your screen, fill out a simple survey, and give us that feedback. We want to pack Premiere full of features that help you sell more and be more efficient in operating your business. So if you want to take some time to fill that out, we'd much appreciate it. And you can fill that out as many times as you want. You're not limited either. So if you fill it out today and you give us some suggestions, but come up with a few more, several days from now, you can always go back to that survey and give us more feedback. It's always appreciated. Thank you and happy selling.